Hello, everyone. I'm going to type into the sidebar if you can do the same. Hi, Evelyn. Hello, Marisa. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Nicole. Awesome. Hi, Shayla. So you'll notice my background is different. I'm actually standing tonight. Hi, Claire. I taught a lot today, and then I just came back a little while ago from teaching a booty class, and my arse is killing me. So I do not really want to sit on it right now. So I'm at my standing desk. So the view is just a little bit different. Hi, Jen. So we'll see. We'll see how long I feel like standing for. I might end up shifting things and sitting down. Yes, happy Monday to everyone. Another beautiful, beautiful day. Anybody else feel like they've just had a perpetual pool of sweat in their bra for the last 5 weeks? I'm trying not to complain about it, but it's been so hot. But it's been beautiful. I went out last night to go and deadhead my gardens, and I was like, I kind of feel like I should probably just like take everything out. The whole tops are all burnt. There's not enough water in the world. Yeah, hair and pony for weeks. I know I have not had my hair down because the whole idea of blow drying your hair in this heat just sounds like torture. And then when it's down, it's all hot and sticky. So, first world problems for sure. Okay, so talking about things like hair and, sweat and all of that, tonight is all about our skincare, all about properly detoxifying and getting rid of a lot of the chemicals and the toxins that find their way into our environment. Sometimes by us knowing, companies that we're choosing to, purchase from and things that we're using daily, but sometimes it's things that are coming into our household, into our skin, into our respiratory system that we don't even realize are creating an impact on our body, and that is taking a toll on our endocrine system. This is a hard one for a lot of people to wrap their head around, especially when all of this is new information, is that the things that you use in your shower, so your shampoo, your conditioner, your shaving cream, your body gel, your exfoliant, whatever it is that you're using, your moisturizer afterwards, your makeup, your hairspray, your gel, your shiny gloss, your dry shampoo, whatever it is that you're using, your tampons, your pads, all of those things have a huge impact on our hormones, on our endocrine system. So everything from your thyroid function to enhancing or decreasing the communication in the brain, so in that hypothalamic pituitary adrenal connection that we've been learning about over the last couple of weeks. That's that HPA axis, how this communicates with your ovaries, how much estrogen is in your system, because all of these chemical toxins come complete with what are called xenoestrogens. These are chemical forms of estrogen that your body has a very difficult time, actually almost impossible time working at breaking down and getting out of its system, because your body was not designed with an enzyme to know how to attach to emulsify, to get this out through the liver, through the bowels. You don't have enzymes to actually be able to digest and break these certain chemicals down when it's coming in way of food that you're taking into your system, so they accumulate. And these chemical forms of estrogen, they look so much like the estrogen that your ovaries and your adrenals and your fat cells produce, that every single cell in your body, okay, every cell requires all different nutrients and different information that's coming in to have a key. And you need to have the appropriate key to unlock the cells in your body and get into the mitochondria, which is like the powerhouse of your cell. It's really what is keeping the DNA structure healthy, the RNA, and allowing your body to express healthy vital cells or inflamed cells, cancerous cells, where there's actually death of cells, autophagy that actually happens in our bodies. And so when we take in these chemical forms of estrogen specifically, the body is like, I know your estrogen, your key will work in here and allows that chemical form of the estrogen, whether it's a paraben or a BPA that's in plastic or a genetically modified ingredient or pesticide or insecticide, to unlock the cell. And then the moment that key turns and the cell opens up, the cell door is like, oh my gosh, your chemical form, we actually don't know what to do with you. Xenoestrogen is like, too late, I'm already inside. And now these chemical forms of estrogen get into your fat cells where your body stores and holds on to your toxins, chemicals, all of those things. It thinks it's trying, to protect you, and that is ultimately what it's trying to do for you. But the problem is that through that attempt in protecting you, it won't release the chemical forms of the estrogen on its own. It is evil. It's evil, but it's not. It's actually a beautifully designed mechanism within our body. The problem is not our body. The problem is all of these companies and the ingredients and the products. That's where the evilness comes from. And if you were to actually flip the word evil around, it means live, right? Or live. And so we want to take that negative energy of what these companies are trying to do and the crappy, cheap products and chemicals they're putting into, the commercial environment and then into our body. And we want to flip it. We want to choose to live and create, this aspect of our systems where our body just functions really well. All this estrogen creates congestion. And so when you're seeing things happen like, clogged ducts in your hair, slow hair growth, losing your hair, almost like you get cradle cap as an adult, you have dandruff, you've got acne, you have rosacea, you have always like this buildup of skin, you have excess yeast in your system. Those types of things are all coming from that estrogen level as well too. On a deeper level hormonally, it's going to impact the thyroid in way of the thyroid becoming underactive. So typically how estrogen mimickers impact your thyroid gland specifically is they will slow things down. Not typically will they rev things up, they'll slow things down. How they impact your gut is that these chemicals can cause perforation, so they can contribute to the leaky gut, allowing undigested and unhealthy particles to get out into your bloodstream, make their way into your lymph system, and your immune system creates that response. For your period, excess estrogen products will give you heavier periods, more painful periods, clotting. Estrogen causes things to grow. When you were a young girl, before you got your period, you had no breast, you had no hips. When you got your period, when those hormones were hyper and getting ready to have your menstrual cycle, all of a sudden you started to notice that you got these buds, you got breast tissue, you had hips, your belly got a little bit softer and a little bit bigger, and your body started to, increase maybe in size and change in shape. This was estrogen playing a big role in that. When the lining of the uterus starts to thicken, this is estrogen that's contributing to the thickening of the lining that we then shed. In the first half of your menstrual cycle, what's actually happening is your estrogen's at its highest point. Your follicular stimulating hormone, which is supported by estrogen, is at its highest point. This is meant to ripen the eggs in your ovaries, to release that egg, which is ovulation. Then that leftover part of that egg, that corpus luteum, is actually what allows us to produce the progesterone. Then we go through that progesterone phase, both the hormones drop off, we get a period, and then the cycle starts again. When the estrogen is staying so high all the time, the thickening of that uterus is perpetuated, and so it becomes too thick. There's too much excess tissue. This causes pain. This causes cramping. This can happen even at the time of ovulation as the ovaries are trying to actually get the eggs out into the fallopian tubes and down into your uterus. It can cause a lot of breast tenderness. It can cause you to grow a bra size. This is what can cause you to also put 5 to 7 pounds on leading into your period. It can make you moody. It can give you the headaches. And then you have this drop off of your estrogen and there's not enough progesterone to help to buffer. And it can really just become honestly like a shit storm behind the scenes. And so what we want to focus on tonight is I want to teach you some of the different products, mainly the ones you would find in your bathroom, in your kitchen, I'll even talk a little bit about things like in your laundry room, just generally what you're using in your home. And then also some of the key supplements that are supportive in helping, you know, the health of your liver, the health of your skin, and that type of stuff. So if there's any questions that come about as I'm talking about it, post your questions. If I'm kind of on a roll, if I'm standing up on that soapbox, I will come off of it eventually, and I will see the question on the sidebar, and I will answer it. But this to me is what I find to be one of the most impactful things that we can do outside of the food that we're choosing to put into our body. The hydration, the movement, and the sleep is like, what are you putting on your skin? Because you see, the thing is that when you eat your food, when it goes in your mouth, you chew that food, you masticate it. There's different enzymes and there's a chemical reaction that's happening to break that down. When you take things and put them on your skin, they don't go through the digestive system. They don't have to go through that process of being broken down and then making their way out into your body. What we apply to our skin goes directly in our skin. It bypasses the gut and it gets right into your body. So we know this when we talk about like bioidentical hormones and different creams, or if you've ever like quit smoking and they've given you the patch, or there used to be a birth control patch they put on you. You know, we know that that level of penetration, it gets right into our body right away. And we want to make sure that what we're putting on our body, it's like food coming from the outside in. So I will let you know that I remember, oh gosh, it was probably, I think it was, well, how old am I now? So 17 years ago, when I was in school, back in school to become a registered holistic nutritionist, I knew the impact of the skin, but I didn't really get it. I had never heard of the term estrogen dominance before. And I can remember that class, honestly, like it was yesterday. Every time I teach this part of the hormone project, I like seriously go back in time, because I thought I was doing everything right. My sister-in-law worked for Body Shop at the time, and so everything that we had in our house was like natural, right? The Body Shop was revered to be like this incredible place for skincare, the cocoa butter, all of that stuff. And I remember our instructor talking about what estrogen dominance is, the impact to the hormones, to weight gain, to these heavy periods, to the mood swings, anxiety, depression, all of these ups and downs. And I was like, wow, you know, I had been feeling some of those things, but I had been working with a ton of my personal training clients at the time and my group exercise students who were all dealing with these things. And I was like, maybe this is part of the missing link as to why they're not losing weight, as to why they're feeling so frustrated in the gym, as to why they have, you know, these crazy mood swings and cravings and hot flashes. I think that this probably has something to do with it. And as we started to go deeper into that class and she began to pull up all the companies on the board that you needed to avoid, I was like, oh my God, that's my entire bathroom. That is all the things I use every day. It's all the things I have in my cupboard that have been collecting dust in case one day I have time for that bubble bath or have time for that exfoliant experience. And I just in my head kept thinking like, this is so much money to throw away. And I was really overwhelmed. And I went home from that class. And I do kind of my best talks in my car out loud to myself. So if you ever drive past me and it looks like I'm talking, I'm not on the phone. I'm on the phone with my brain. I'm having a conversation with myself. And I remember driving home and being like, okay, Jen, when you get home, you will just pull everything out that you have in the bathroom and you're just going to kind of take a look and see. I bet you there's not that many things that you own that you're going to have to get rid of. So I came home, I pulled everything out of the shower, everything out of, you know, like the medicine cabinet, the counters, all of that underneath, and I put it on the floor in the bathroom. And I started to flip over and read the labels. And I created a pile, like an area where I had the things that I could not put in my body anymore and the things that I could keep. And I was left with 2 products. And I'm not kidding you, about 30 or 40 different things that I couldn't use. And initially when I looked at that pile, I was just like, oh, that is hundreds of dollars that I'm going to waste, that I'm going to throw away. And I didn't understand that getting rid of those things, I wasn't actually wasting anything. In fact, I was freeing up the space for my body and my health to move into the next level of feeling great. And so initially I thought, well, maybe I'll just give it to other people. And I was like, well, that's mean because I don't want them to be using those things. So I, you know, disposed of all of those. And then I just started to ask myself, okay, what do I actually need to replace that I use? So I had to buy new shampoo and conditioner. Okay. I had to buy a new soap. Okay. I had to, reevaluate my skincare, and my skincare and makeup were the last things that I did, which really didn't change for me until about 10, 12 years ago. So there was about a 5 to 7 year period after I heard a class like this where I took the information in, I got rid of the things that I really wasn't using that often. And then didn't realize how emotionally connected I was to the skincare line that I was using, to the makeup. At that time, like, I was getting breakouts every now and again. And I was really afraid that if I changed things up again, if I use the natural stuff and not, the Aveeno products or the, what's it called? Proactive, those kind of things, that my skin was going to react again. So I let that be kind of one of the last threads, the last things that I changed. And so I'm telling you this so that you do not have to do everything all at once. Now, over the years, I have very little stuff in my bathroom. I have so much cupboard and counter space around my home because I use very minimal things now. And oftentimes what I use for one job or one purpose in my body or my home doubles for many other things. So I'm going to start you off in the shower. Typically in the shower, what you would find is shampoo, conditioner, a body gel like wash, an exfoliant type of a scrub wash, your soap, razor. Those are the typical kinds of things. If you have something else that you use, I'm not too sure, maybe like a deep conditioning treatment. So I had a lot of those different things. Now I have 3 things in my shower that I use. So I'm going to show you what those are. Now, in your workbook, you have links that we've hyperlinked up there for you to a lot of the different products I talk about. I talk about different products in my book as well too. So I have a shampoo and conditioner. I change mine up every couple of months, but right now the one that I'm using that I love is called Boo Bamboo. Okay, so it's just a hair strengthening shampoo and a strengthen and shine conditioner. So that is that. Now, I get asked all the time if I have color treated hair. I get my roots colored about 3 times a year because I've got some grays. Now, in the sweat, wearing my hair back all the time like this, it pretty much, gets covered under the sweat. But I would say that, there is like the hair salon that I go to, their line that they use, Davines now, there's no parabens, there's no sodium lauryl sulfate. There are still some not awesome ingredients, but they're moving in the right direction. But you definitely want to get away from companies like Pantene Pro V, anything that you're buying in your regular, like, Rexall or, grocery store, those types of things, because we're massaging this into our scalp. And in the shower, you're getting hot. And so you vasodilate your pores. Everything opens up. So it's much more receptive to pull everything in, the good, the bad. And then you usually end up having that cool factor at the end of your shower. And so now you're sealing not only the follicles of your hair, but you're also sealing the pores of your skin. So you're really kind of locking it in. We want to make sure that we're locking the right things in. So this would be what I love. I love Giovanni products. John Masters has a fairly good line. There's a couple of really good ones that are out there. So go to your natural health store and just kind of explore. You can also get small sample bottles before you go and buy, larger bottles, but these are $9. Like, that's $18 for a shampoo and conditioner. I mean, I have girlfriends who are spending like $30 and $40 on one flippin' container. That's not cool. That is like, when I think of where else I could spend my money, is not going to happen in my shampoo and my conditioner. So, products that don't cost a lot. Then I got rid of any of the exfoliating things. If I need a good exfoliant, I take some brown sugar and some coconut oil and I make my own and I keep it in a small mason jar container. But I dry brush. So this is my dry brush. And so I use a sensitive skin dry brush because they're like really abrasive. And I do these circular sweeping motions from my extremities. So my arms, my legs, everything coming back in towards your heart space. That's where you want to do your dry brushing. And so you do your dry brushing before you get into the shower. So I'm having like a body shower every day right now because it is so warm. I only wash my hair once, maybe twice a week. And you have to train your hair how to do this. This will decrease on the oiliness of your hair. It'll actually create healthier, softer, shinier hair. It'll help to thicken your hair. It will decrease how much hair you are actually losing. So I only wash my hair 1 to 2 times a week. And oftentimes I will put some, oils in. If you follow me on Instagram, I gave a little recipe today and I make like a little mask. I'll put it into my hair. I'll put it up into a bun or I'll leave it in this pony, and I'll maybe do that for like a whole day. If I'm really gross, sometimes 2 days, and I will let it really just do its work and then use shampoo to help to wash it out. So this hangs outside the shower. Sometimes I'll drop essential oils on it. I love citruses, so like lemon, wild orange, grapefruit. But I also sometimes will do things like geranium, maybe a dab of peppermint, like something invigorating if I need to kind of wake my system up. And then natural bar soap. Like this, I literally just took out of the shower, so it's like there's not a lot that's left here. But this is just evening primrose oil soap. And I use evening primrose oil soap, emu oil soap, goat milk soap sometimes. And I buy our natural soap at the market or at the Bulk Barn or at Nature's Emporium. At your regular like health food store, it's going to cost you $2 for a bar. This is going to be what shaves your legs. No more shaving cream. We want to get rid of those cans out of the environment, and that is just pure chemical that you're applying. And then you are taking a razor and you are moving over your skin and opening up those pores even more. So your razor burn and those types of things, you start to use your natural soap, it's going to be minimized. When it comes to washing your body, you do not lather up and wash all your skin. You wash your bits, okay? You wash your armpits, you wash around your nipples and breast, especially if you're nursing or you're sweating a lot, and you wash your girl parts down below. That's it. You don't suds up your legs, you don't suds up your arms. You have such a huge ecosystem of positive bacteria that's living on your skin. And think about this. When you're in the shower and you are washing your hair, that soap, that is rinsing down your body. The rest of that that's on your skin, when you're going through your underarms, that's going to rinse down your body. When you're washing around the breast tissue or down around the vaginal area, that's going to rinse down the body. You don't need to scrub your body, especially if you have eczema, psoriasis, acne, any of these issues. Like your skin is not interested in being scrubbed. It wants to be like lightly stimulated, but it doesn't want to be irritated. So three things in the shower. That is it, okay? Now, once you get out of the shower, what do you put on your skin? I am a lover of oils. So yes, essential oils, but you want to use a carrier oil. I buy all different types of glass jars. I get these on Amazon or at the natural health food store, but I have like all different sizes and different types of bottles that I use. Like these are great for traveling. Because this can go onto the airplane in your carry-on bag. And so if I have, like my oil cleansing method for my face or for my body, and I just fill up a bunch of these glass bottles instead of the plastic, I just wrap them, like I just kind of put some toilet paper around them and put them in my bag and they're fine. So, but I use things like sesame seed oil, apricot, coconut oil, almond oil, jojoba oil, and I always have a couple of different carriers. And I just put some on my hand, maybe a drop or so of essential oil, and I just massage that into my body. So those would be some things like for actual body moisturizing. When it comes to cleansing your face, so I've linked up for you guys in your workbook my oil cleansing method that I do for my skin. So I make it a lot of the time. I also am so in love with a couple of companies if you don't want to make your own. So the first company is Living Libations. So they are based out of Halliburton, which is in Ontario here. It's about 2 hours north of where I live, so about 3 hours north of Toronto. It is a fantastic company. They ship to the US, they ship throughout Canada. Their products are beautiful. I love their Best Skin Ever oil cleansing method. I like the sea buckthorn because my skin can tend to be a bit more oily and break out. If you have skin that has any scarring or is more sensitive, then the rose hip oil, the neroli, or the frankincense, and it talks you through all that on the website. They have a beautiful frankincense toner. They have some really fabulous stuff. I also get my activated charcoal toothpaste from them as well too. And it comes really nicely packaged. It's not crazy expensive. This size bottle, which I think this one is like, it doesn't say on here, it's a 50 ml, months. This lasts me months because when I am washing my face, so I turn the water on, I let the water get hot. While it's getting hot, I take 3 pumps of this in my hand, which is maybe about the size of a dime. I massage it. Nope, they ship, Shayla. They ship into the United States. They ship to Canada. They ship like North America. So you'd be able to get it in California. Actually, they had a shop in Venice for a period of time. I don't know if it's still down there. But what you would do is you'd put this on and I massage it all around my skin. And I like take my time and I work it everywhere. If I'm wearing eye makeup, I go under my eyes like this. I kind of go around. I don't go like on my eyelashes, like near my eyeballs. And then as the water is hot, then I take the face cloth. I saturate the face cloth, I squeeze it out, and then I kind of like press like I'm just steaming my face, and then I use the cloth to just wipe. And I'm not trying to wipe all of the oil away. Like there's going to be some excess that's there, so you kind of just look dewy. And so that's what I would do. Now, sometimes I might use a toner. I love Cocoon Apothecary. Is a really beautiful company. We've linked up to this. I don't get like, I don't sell any of this stuff. Well, doTERRA I do, that's not true. But I'm just a distributor because it saves you money on it and you earn points back. Like it's a no-brainer. So I love their Virage facial toner. I like that one from Living Libations. And yeah, so those are things that I would do. Now, if I have any breakouts, then I use something from Dr. Perlman, who is in Toronto, and this is like an acne stick. And so this is not 100% organic, okay? This has salicylic acid in it, but there's no parabens, there's no sodium lauryl sulfate. And so I literally, it looks like a bingo dabber. I will just like dab if I have anything that might be kind of brewing under the skin, and it typically takes care of it without drying the skin out. Now, when it comes to actually moisturizing your skin, I find when you're doing the oil cleansing method, you really don't have to do any residual moisturizing because you've just cleansed with oil. If you're using oil-free cleansers, oil-free moisturizers, this is drying your skin out on that epidermis layer. You are actually causing small micro tears. You are really making your sebaceous glands become more active. Your skin will be more congested. Your acne will get worse. You can actually contribute to creating more bacteria in and underneath that skin because you are depriving it of oil. That is what our skin and our body needs, is that oil production. So be very careful when you are selecting your products for that. So that's how I would take care of my skin. Now, I get asked all the time if I use foundation. I don't. I've never used foundation. You know, I think just like years of modeling and doing stuff on film and having like thick foundation, I just could not stand it anymore. So if I'm doing a media appearance or it's not the summertime where I have some color, then I will use a tinted moisturizer. This one I have is by Dr. Hoshka, which you can get again at like Whole Foods, Nature's Emporium, Healthy Planet, Organic Garage, those types of places. And it's a homeopathic based skincare line. So it's really, really balancing, and it just gives kind of this sun-kissed look on your skin. And again, we've got all the links below. So that covers the shower, your body moisturizing, your face in terms of like cleansing and taking care of it in that regard. Now, I only do the oil cleansing method at night, only at night. I do not wash my face in the morning. So again, like I was saying about your hair, decreasing how often you're washing your hair actually creates healthier hair. Decreasing the frequency of washing your face creates healthier skin. I know that's a mind trip, okay? But in the morning, you're just gonna use a toner on your skin. So I use the doTERRA toner, the Virage. I really love this one. If you had more sensitive skin, using like a rose water based toner would be really beautiful, or something with like elderberry in it, something that's like calming and cooling for your skin. And then what I do is I use these little organic cotton pads. So sometimes like I have these organic ones too, which are disposable. But one of my ways I'm, continuing to grow as a human on this planet is I'm trying to decrease my waste. And so yes, like these cotton ones can be recycled, but I've started to use these ones, which I just wash. And so I paid like $10 for 12 of them. Put them inside of like one of your undie and bra little bags that you zip up for the laundry machine, or you will lose these suckers. And so I like spray on one half, and I fold it, and then I, you know, do my toner and all that stuff. And then I actually get 4 uses out of the one pad, as opposed to with this guy, I would only be able to get 1 use out of, and then I would have to discard it. So, you know, it saves you money. You're not spending like $4 on a pack of those little pads that you're going through umpteen times. And you can use this for like if you're removing your nail polish, toe polish, those types of things. But it's, you know, little things like this over time that help our planet and our environment, and that are actually better for your body and for your system. So that's what I use for that. So I would do the toner in the morning. And then I would apply my absolute favorite sunscreen this time of year, which is called Kula. So this I actually get from where I get my facials done, but you can order it online. It has the most lovely finish because it's matte. It doesn't make you look shiny like a lot of the other sunscreen-based moisturizers. And it actually keeps your face, it prevents that shine. It's mineral-based, it's zinc oxide is its main ingredient that's in it, but it's beautiful. It's so translucent on your skin. So it's called Kula. You can get it in like a little tinted one, and then just their regular one. I can't say enough about this one. I love it. I know they're trying to get it in at Nature's right now, so I'd recommend going onto their website, onto Kula, and ordering it that way. Okay, so I think that I've covered all that I wanted to in that regard. Any questions before I move on to talking about makeup? Any questions about any of the things I just talked about? What's so nice too is like your bill will actually go down because these oils last you forever. Like, do you know how long this lasts? Because you're using like the tiniest little bit. Like a toonie size is going to do majority of your whole body because you just keep spreading and using that oil, and you end up with way less packaging and just stuff that's in your bathroom. Like, I just don't have a lot of stuff. Okay, so no questions on any of those. Okay, wait, hold on. There is a question in the Q&A. The product of the sunscreen. It's C-O-O-L-A, Kula. And it is the bomb. It's amazing. Every woman that I know who gets that, in fact, like with my daughter who's 12, and both the kids actually, always a struggle getting the sunscreen on their face because they're like, it's greasy, and I put this one on them and they're just like, oh, it's so smooth. You know, it's so nice going on, and I don't get any arguing from them. So that's a mom win. And I think the SPF, it's an SPF 30 for that. Okay, so let's talk about your teeth, your chiclets. So for those of you who were at Ignite Your Life and you heard my girlfriend Sam Gladish talk about, you know, all of her amazing knowledge about holistic dentistry, you will know that, you know, a lot of what we're doing in terms of taking care of our teeth, which the bacteria in your mouth is representative of the bacteria in your gut. Now, my husband is 41 years old, has never had a cavity in his life, okay? Sam and I are the worst for having cavities. Emerson, she's kind of okay. Sam has tiny little mouth and jaw, tiny little teeth that are all crammed together. So he's had like 7 cavities, and he is going to be 10 in September. And every single cavity has been between his teeth, never inside the tooth, always between, because his teeth are so like jammed in there, there's no space. So I've just recently bought like a water pick to try and help to diminish that, and trying to get him those little flossers to help to get in there. But one of the other things that I've done, I've been using this for a few years now, it just never occurred to me to get my kids to do it, is I do tongue scraping. So I'm not going to show you this because it's disgusting. But what you do is you open your mouth, and okay, and this is another thing. So my tongue, okay? It's like kind of the same color as my skin, right? It's neutral. You open your mouth and stick your tongue out. This is why it's one of your questions on the questionnaire. And it is like all red. Mine isn't, but if it's all red and ruddy and cracked, and you've got like what look like sores on your tongue, or it's white or yellow or cakey, I get the back there. It's a big sign of bacteria, of excess yeast, of sugar, of the liver struggling to detoxify, probably some digestive issues, some bunged up stuff that is actually backing its way up into your mouth as well. Like halitosis, when it's like chronic bad breath, coming from your butt and your gut up out through your mouth. So no amount of toothpaste is going to do anything for that. So what we do is you take this, go to the back of the tongue, and you scrape forward. It looks like snot is being pulled off your tongue. I know that's disgusting, but I'm just telling you straight up because it's important to know what to expect so that you don't do it and be like, I think something's wrong with me. That's what it's going to look like. Scrape it off. It helps to stop that cycle of the bacteria, because if that's sitting on your tongue all the time, sitting there throughout the day, you're sleeping, you're a mouth breather as well too, which Sam is a mouth breather. So it's like trying to work on that. You know, he's opposed to me taping his mouth shut when he sleeps. So we're trying to work on something else. Is that all of that bacteria, all those little bugs, they start to like eat away at the dentin in your teeth. And so it has a really big connection to what's going on in your body. So tongue scraping, this is a copper one. Mine's actually almost on its way out. You can see there's some discoloration. So I know that I need to get a new one. Again, and they come in like little travel kits. So it folds out like this. So you can take it everywhere. This is like such a low investment, like $10 to $20. You do this when you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed. That's going to have like a tremendous long-term impact on your health. Obviously flossing. So toothpaste, I have 3 different ones that I alternate between. Please don't use Crest, Colgate, Tom's. Tom's should not be allowed to be in the natural health section. Their deodorant, their toothpaste, none of it. It is a travesty. They were bought out by the Palmolive Crest Colgate company. They still use sodium lauryl sulfate. They use triclosan. They use foaming agents. So if your toothpaste foams up in your mouth, you got a problem, okay? That is not good for you. Toothpaste, if you actually look at your regular toothpaste, they are like one of the most toxic things that you could ingest and swallow in your home. I love doTERRA's, okay? Good source of silica, wild orange, On Guard that's in here, beautiful. And then I showed you, I've got that charcoal toothpaste, which you look scary when you're brushing your teeth because it's like black everywhere, but beautiful to whiten your teeth and polish. And then my girlfriend Sam's Salty Kisses toothpaste. So simple ingredients, right? This one in here, you've got coconut oil, aluminum-free baking soda, aloe vera, some sea salt, some xylitol, which actually will stop a cavity in its tracks, MSM, which is important for mineralization, peppermint, and clove essential oil to freshen your breath. So doTERRA, you can order online. You can actually go to my website and right down at the bottom, you'll see there's a symbol for doTERRA. You can order any of their products there and have it shipped directly to your home. You will earn some shipping free points and products as well too to use towards other products moving forward. Salty Kisses, which because it's hot, look at, it's like liquidy in there. I got to put this in the fridge. That is like the one problem with using the coconut oils and those types of things. And then this is Living Libation. Now you can go to the health food store and you can buy like the Jason toothpaste, Kiss My Face, those types of ones. I would just say always read your labels because we've been bamboozled. Like in the past where I thought a company was great, the ingredients were good, I started to become a raving fan. And then one day standing in line, turn it over and I'm like the Toms. One day I'm just standing there and I flip it over and I was like, why do they have 2 of the worst ingredients ever in this product now? And, you know, did my research, contacted colleagues, and they're like, oh, it was bought. Like, there's so many companies behind the scenes, like Vega, bought out by a really cheap ass company. That product has seriously gone downhill. I have so many clients and people who contact me who take that protein powder, who have gas and bloating. They don't do well with the Savvy seed. They don't do well, you know, with the maca that's in there. So doTERRA and Young Living, difference. Honestly, difference of opinion, to be honest with you. They actually were the same company when they first started out, and there was like a massive divide. They both source really well. Young Living will tell you doTERRA doesn't, and doTERRA will tell you that Young Living doesn't, and they actually source from really fantastic places. I just chose doTERRA because I had a better connection with the oil. I had tried some Young Living, I had tried doTERRA. I just resonated better with the doTERRA. And so I would say to you, you know, choose what feels like it works for you. They're both really good quality, so I have no concerns with you choosing one or the other. You know, a company like Sage, I'm not a big fan of a lot of their stuff. They use a lot of fragrance still. perfumes, colognes, artificial fragrance, that is going to impact you on an endocrine level as well too, right? So that is that's a big one that you really need to pay attention to, especially like every single one of you pretty much on your assessment form checked off that you have a sensitivity now to certain smells. So what that means is, you know, cigarette smoke, cologne, perfume, it kills me when I do stuff in home and a woman will show up and has like an insane amount of perfume on. I actually like can't even breathe and I pretty much get an instant headache. Going through that aisle in the grocery store where all the laundry detergent and the Febreze and all of those things, please don't buy any of those types of things. The Febreze air freshener, the Downy softening sheets, any of that stuff, keep it out of your home. Horrible for your respiratory system, horrible for your endocrine system, like literally attach themselves to the cell receptors on your thyroid. Get that stuff out. Get yourself wool dryer balls, put some essential oils on that, put that into your dryer, and you are going to be so much healthier for it. Some other things in your bathroom and your home to think about would be like, what do you wash your hands with? Like, what's your soap that you use? I love Dr. Bonner's. I love Mrs. Meyer's. So these are like soap pumps for the bathroom that are wonderful. They have dish soaps, 7th generation, Eco Clean. Again, we've linked it all up. I also keep on hand the concentrated doTERRA. So this is their foaming hand wash. And if we've had like an illness in the house, like Emerson was sick a couple of weeks ago, so I was using the On Guard, and I was just like spraying everything down with that. I make my own cleansers for the kitchen. And you can even like, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of the recipes for those things, like I have some in the Simplicity Kitchen. My new book, The Simplicity Body, which I'm writing right now, will have a lot more of those recipes, but Pinterest and just Google like great at-home doTERRA kitchen counter recipes. Spray bottle that you can buy from the health food store, like a glass one, some distilled water, touch of vinegar, a little bit of vodka to help to distill it, and essential oils like On Guard, clove, cinnamon, tea tree like melaleuca, lemon, lemongrass that actually work to kill bacteria. Some of them come in roller bombs. So instead of hand sanitizer, I have these roller bombs of On Guard. And actually just like roll it on our hands, on the kids' hands, and then do this, as opposed to using all of those chemical hand sanitizers, which especially if your little ones have like dry skin and they have eczema and psoriasis and their little knuckles crack in their hands and they're using those, it's just going to exacerbate it. And again, that skin, like it's a pathway into your entire body, and it's going to add to a lot of those hormonal imbalances and flux that you have going on. Myers is a great company. It was Japanese to me. Oh, okay. So no, you've got water, sodium methyl 2-seroglycine. The only thing in here that for some people, like if you had psoriasis or eczema that might irritate you, is the polysorbate 20. Outside of that, it's really good. If you wanted something that was even more basic, Dr. Bonner's. So easy. When we used to go camping, because I don't camp anymore unless it's going to be glamping, I go to a cottage now, is that we used to take that, and that Dr. Bonner's would be our dish soap, our laundry soap, our shampoo, our body wash, and like a teaspoon of that, honestly, goes so far. Use both. Awesome. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so now let's talk makeup. Let's talk makeup. Now, actually, before we go to makeup, I'm going to talk about deodorant, and then I'll go to makeup. So deodorant. Question came in from Pam. This is a great question I get asked all the time. So I've been using natural deodorant now for, you know, to be honest with you, when Emerson was born 12 years ago is when I finally made the big leap into a lot of these things. Holding a brand new baby against me. I've never worn perfume since the day she was born. I never put a chemical deodorant. Like so many of those things, I switched over a laundry detergent right away. It's like, you know, we know it and learn it for ourselves, and we know it in the back of our head, but when you, for your children, you just like automatically make those changes. And so when she was a little baby and I just was like, she was always nuzzled into me and, you know, everybody else holding her, I was always so concerned about what was she taking into her little system that didn't have any of those filters yet. And so it's when I switched over to natural deodorant. I think my first natural deodorant was like a Tom's. At the time it was okay. And then I've gone through umpteen different deodorants because your pheromones change. So when you find a natural deodorant, first of all, usually when you make the switch over, you're like, what have I done? I smell, I have BO. I've never smelled like this before in my life. This deodorant does not work. And you go back to like your Dove, your Secret, your, Speed Stick, whatever the heck it is. You have to remember that if you've been using regular chemical commercial deodorants for your whole life, there's a detox process that happens. And all the lymph glands that are in your underarms feed and fuel into your breast tissue. So this is why the natural deodorant, not only is it important for your whole lymph system, but it's also important for your girls. Because if you have, fibrocystic breast tissue, you've got typically like lumpy breast, those types of things. I mean, that deodorant that you're using, all those things, that is feeding into your breast. So it's super important that you are changing up that deodorant. You have to give yourself a grace period. You're probably going to have to apply it more often. You can work with the dry brush to help to exfoliate and unclog all those years of suppressing your sweat, your natural scent. That's what the antiperspirants and that's what the deodorants of all those years have been doing, is just shoving it in deeper. So you're going to maybe sweat more and you're going to smell more. So you will have to change it up. Now, pheromones, which is a word that I threw out there, when you're going through different points in your cycle or every couple of cycles, things change up in your body. Maybe your stress level increases. Maybe there's something else. It's a change of season. You'll need to change your deodorant. I just went through a period of time this last year where I bounced back and forth between probably 4 or 5 until I found my groove. We made our own deodorant for a really long time. The recipes in the Simplicity Kitchen book. And then this time of year, I find it hard with the homemade deodorant because I'd have to keep it in the fridge. And then I would forget to get my deodorant out of the fridge because that's not a normal thing. So I went back to using a stick. So the one I love, which I'm really sorry, I'm going to tell you guys a company that you have to contact her personally because she doesn't sell it publicly anywhere other than in Daylin next to Nature's Emporium in Newmarket. But if you live out of country, then sorry about this, but you won't be able to get it. And it's from my girlfriend and she makes it. It's called Rooted Goddess. And it's all natural and I love it. And it's the one for me that's worked the best. There's also a great company called Schmidt. And I know what the light, but I'm just going to show you the size of this. Really tiny. Oh yeah. So here's the Schmidt. So super tiny. This is what I love about it. So when I travel, I'll take this little guy and it's such a good smell. This one is rose and vanilla. Oh my gosh. It's just rub it here to smell good. But it's great because it's tiny to travel with and it's tiny to try. So just like I was saying with the trial size shampoos and conditioners, you can get smaller trial size deodorants to try. So yeah, my husband loves Laughs. There's a whole bunch of different ones. There's also the Crystal Rock that works for people. To be honest with you, I've got 30 of you in this group. None of you have found success with the exact same one. So I don't have just one to go towards. I would try and intuitively stand there, smell them, put it on your skin. Does it go on really dry? Does it go on smooth? Is it kind of chalky, powdery? What type of a feeling do you like to have on your skin? That's where I would start. And then, okay, if you buy it, you get home, if it causes a rash. So sometimes people get dermatitis from a natural deodorant. And do you know the reason why? It's because they're not using chemicals. They're using natural sodium bicarbonate, the baking soda. And that sodium bicarbonate can irritate the skin. And you might be fine for months and then all of a sudden start to get this irritation. Could be from rubbing. It could be from sweating. It could be from changing the blades on your razor. It could be changing over recently to getting laser hair removal done. And so it's the sodium. So you want to get one that's sensitive skin based that does not have the sodium in it. What was the full name of the Goddess one? Erin, it's called Rooted Goddess. So in Daylin, which is right inside Nature's Emporium, they carry it there. Danielle makes it and I love it. It's fantastic. I like the pink grapefruit or the lavender, but I have had really good success for it. And ladies, I teach and work out 7 days a week. Even if I'm not in the gym 7 days a week, but I'm out walking, whatever, I'm sweating all the time. So trust me, I have tried various deodorants. Yeah, Nicole uses the Rooted Goddess as well too. And so I would say Shayla, for you that's in the States, Julia, there's a couple of you that are, Svetlana from the US. You live in areas where there are people, grassroots companies that are making these various products. Your farmers markets, you're going to find it. You know, what's the worst case scenario? You end up spending like 10 bucks. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's Rooted Goddess, but you can't, like, I can't even give you Danielle. You can go to rootedgoddess.ca or .com, try that way. But Christine, you're local, so just go and buy it at Daylin, which is in Newmarket, right next to Nature's. MacBrook and Co. I have not. I don't know that one. But you live right downtown. You're like in Leslieville, I think, Jesse. Like, again, you're like in the mecca of all the goodness of all those things. So you could essentially just go into any of those stores. The Detox Market online, fantastic store that curates all the best products in body care, hair care, makeup, like you name it, they carry it. All of those types of things that you can actually order and have shipped to you. So it's called the Detox Market. I'll write it here on the side. And they are amazing. Okay, so we got about 10 minutes left. I want to hit on makeup, feminine care products, and just a little bit on supplements to help with your skin. So for makeup, I am sorry to tell you that I don't use a lot of it or wear a lot of it, so I only know about the things that I have. So this is all the makeup that I own, and this eyeshadow palette. What I have learned is that the less is more approach is really great, because if you get used to wearing none to less, when you do put any on, then people are like, oh, look at you, you have makeup on. So I don't use a lot. So like I said, I don't use foundation. I use concealer. So I use a lip brush to apply my concealer, and my most favorite company is RMS, Rosemary Sweeney. You can order it online. You can get it through Amazon. I believe you can get it through the Detox Market that I talked about. Whole Foods carries it, Nature's Emporium. I love it. It's all mineral based, and all of her products are called like Uncover, Unpowder. So it's trying to like provide you makeup, but in a non like junky kind of congestive way. So I just actually like use my concealer with my like brush, and wherever, I don't have anything, but I would just like go like this over the areas that I want to cover. And then you use your ring finger to kind of, you know, stipple and move around, because that's your weakest muscle out of all of your fingers. So it's not going to be abrasive. And so I would use that concealer in the areas that I needed it. And then their Unpowder, which I'm obsessed with. And so I've got my daughter started on these products as well too, because she's starting to get into wanting to wear like the littlest bit of makeup, like a bit of mascara and the powder. And it's great. So they all come with like the little buff puff. This is a tinted one. There's one that's just natural. But what I use instead of the buff puff, where is it here? Because I have a little kabuki brush. So just a little tiny one. And I just like put it in that way. And then I just go like this. And it is amazing for any shininess. It's pure silica. It's rock. It's mineral. Your bones, your body, your skin is made up of silica. Your hair, your nails. You know when you go buy silica supplement? That is what this is. So it is my favorite one. I love Jane Iredale, Dr. Hoshka. Mineral Fusion is pretty good with some of theirs. Zissou. There's a whole list of the different cosmetics companies that I really like. And there's great ones that are coming out on the market all the time. So again, you just have to, you know, do your due diligence. Don't waste your money on like CoverGirl's organic line or Physician Formula, because it's health washing. And if you flip it over and you read it, oh my gosh, it's just absolute garbage. I don't know Poofy Organics, but again, you can, there's also apps on your phone. Like I think the Think Dirty app is one of them. And you can actually scan your products, like the code of the product with your phone, and it'll give you a rating. The Environmental Working Group, EWG.org, also has a list of all the different ingredients. We've also linked that up for you in your workbook so that you know. But we're talking about a lot of different things tonight. You don't have to do everything all at once. Like you can't. You blow your brains out and you'll blow your wallet. So one thing at a time. Like when you run out of your shampoo and conditioner, you're going to buy a better company. You can get rid of things like your shaving cream right away, your body gel wash. Like, you just don't need those things, so get rid of that stuff. Simplify it with just that really good quality bar soap. Those kinds of things are really easy moves. Some of the other ones are a bit more advanced, right? It's a lot. And so I'm just kind of giving you these bits and pieces so you can re-watch, you can re-listen, and then you can start to kind of make a bit of a plan for yourself. Like I said, 17 years ago is when I heard a talk just like this, and I'm still making changes. Like this one of using these over the actual like cotton pads that you throw out. This is like, I've only been doing this for a couple of months, 17 years later. The makeup, it took me 7 years to start to do that, right? Or 5 years to start to do it. So little by little, you know, and then like Mineral Fusion. So simplify too. You don't need to have 12 different blushes and 12 different eyeshadows. Buy, our Beauty Counter, love. Beauty Counter products are great. Beauty Counter, I think, are better than Arbonne, to be honest with you. So instead of having like 4 different colors, buy like a little bronzing palette. And if you wanted more pink, focus your pink there. But you literally just like go like that, brush it off, start on the apple, work your way up, right? Like keep it simple. How do I apply my eyeshadow? I take my finger. I go like this. And I put it over top of my lid. And I would do a darker color. And then I would use the highlight color. I don't fuss around with brushes. Like, I keep it as simple as possible. Simple as possible. And then I have less stuff. I don't want lots of things. I like the minimalist lifestyle. I don't want to own lots of things. I have a finger. It's with me all the time. This ring finger doesn't get a lot of use. So when I'm doing my makeup, I put it into good action. And then I use a Mineral Fusion. There's lots of great natural mascaras out there. Beauty Counter actually has fabulous ones that you can use. So boring, ladies, I don't know what to tell you. I use lip liner, not lipstick. And then I just use like a natural lip gloss or coconut oil over top of the lip liner. And same thing, like if I'm gonna do an eyeshadow, I get one that has 3 different colors. So if I'm not gonna use it from that palette, so I don't want 3 singles, I use that. And same thing, use the ring finger, or you can get these palettes. So this is from Mineral Fusion that I love. And it comes with a few of your different colors, and it tells you like, okay, this is what goes in the base. This is what you highlight with. It's got a brush in here for the brow and for the shadow. And then it's got like an eyeliner as well too. So, there you have it, folks. That is my makeup bag, essentially. I just like to keep things really simple. The less you have on your skin, the less work that your cells have to do to uptake it, the less work that your liver has to do to actually process as well, too. And then the less junk your bowels have to try to move out of your body. So that the whole skincare factor, like, it is massive. So if you're struggling with the food cravings and you're like, oh my God, like the detox meal plan, I can't do all of these things. Can you start to shift what's in your shower? Then when you do that, can you start to change what you're brushing your teeth with? Like, these are all disposable things that you're going to get rid of and then need to replace. We really, there's no barrier, no excuse around this. You're going to have to go and buy some of these things again. Speaking of things that you're going to have to buy again because you cannot reuse them, tampons and pads, okay? You need to start to use organic, natural tampons and pads, or switch to a Diva cup. This is so important because you are putting these tampons inside the vaginal wall up into the cervix. And if you're using Tampax, Always, OB, the really cheap stuff, they are all have chemical dyes. They have bleach and dioxins in them. The cotton is genetically modified. This is what this is cotton. And all of that off gases into the cells of your uterus, into the lining of your uterus. So if you've ever had abnormal pap smears come back with some, you know, uncertainty around the health of those cells, you've had a biopsy, if you have any polyps on the cervix, fibroids, cysts, heavy, painful menstrual cycles, you need to make the switch over to 100% organic. So the company that I love the most is called NatraCare. They also have, like, these are the thong panty liners, and they have like actual pads and like full bum underwear panty liners as well too. These things are really, really important. And again, you're going to spend $1 to $2 at most more on these products that you need to buy every month anyways than you would on the other stuff. Now, the other thing would be to use a Diva cup. Okay, so depending on your flow, right? So this is your Diva cup. This is a menstrual cup. This actually, and there's YouTube videos where you don't literally watch somebody insert it in their body. It's just like, you know, animated. You take it and you pinch it down and then you fold it. So it's like a U for uterus, okay? And then you would actually insert this up inside the cervix. And then once it's inside, you open it and you give it a twist. And so it creates this seal. There's 2 different sizes if you've had children, like given vaginal birth or not, for that. And then this actually captures and holds your menstrual flow, okay? Now, I know you feel like when you have these heavy, heavy periods, that that's not gonna hold it. Sometimes that's true in the beginning because you're going through that detox phase when you start to use this. But what we're doing is we are starving the source of the chemical estrogens in your body. So this isn't gonna be like an overnight shift and change. But what will happen period to period, less cramping, because less chemicals off-gassing in your body, less heavy cycles, less clotting. The color is going to become healthier. Your mood will become better as a result. Your energy will start to recalibrate. Your iron will start to hold itself, because when you have more estrogen and there's thickened lining and there's chunks, like those clots, those are chunks of your uterus, the lining that is actually coming out of your body that you are passing through. That's a lot of blood for your body to let go. There are micro tears that happen, then there's scar tissue that lays down. So changing over, like simple things, like these things, you don't think they're going to make a difference because you can't see it on the outside. This is where lasting change happens, not in your like weight loss plan, not in all those. That's like for the long haul. You have to eat for the rest of your life, okay? So this is made from a BPA silicone, okay? So it's not made from latex. So for people who have latex, that'd be a horrible place to be putting an allergen up inside you. So you're safe with that. But you really need to be conscientious for yourself and for your girls, right? Like for Emerson, she hasn't got her cycle yet, but I have a little bag for her with the natural panty liners and the, you know, tampon as well too, you know, so that she knows that this is what you have and this is what you're going to use for your system. You want to start it off right from the get-go. Okay, so that's important there. Okay, last little bit. We're 8:31. I need to be off by 8:35. So I just want to talk quick supplementation. So your foundational 5, super key. Probiotic, again, that colony of like healthy cells overall coming from your gut. Your omega-3, super important for the cellular structure of your hair, your skin, your nails, also for your brain, but super important for that lipid construction of those cells. Then you've got the things like your magnesium, which is actually just going to help from a less contracted state. You've got your Juice Plus, which your Juice Plus, that is actually cell food. It's not a supplement, it's food. It gets right into your cells, into the mitochondria, and actually helps you absorb more nutrients from the other food that you are consuming. Another big game changer for your skin is the collagen, okay? Vital Proteins and Great Lakes are the companies I love the most, but this is a game freaking changer, okay? Every day, whether it's your elixirs, your smoothies, mix it in with coconut yogurt, doesn't matter. You can even just have it with water, have it that way. 1 to 2 scoops every single day for healthy skin, for healthy nails, for a healthy gut lining. Collagen is one of the very few things, and gelatin, that are actually going to heal the lining of your gut. Yes, Shayla, you can do that. I won't be able to get back to you tonight on that though. So you'll hear back from me tomorrow on that, but absolutely send me an email afterwards. But yeah, so the collagen is super, super important to make sure that we are doing it from like the inside out. Then the things to help to bind to the chemical forms of estrogen. So you're all on your liver tincture, which is helping the liver work to get the chemical crap out of your body. Okay, some of you are taking the NAC, the N-acetylcysteine. So this is helping with your glutathione production, which is helping with that phase 2 detoxification of getting the chemicals out via the liver, the bowels, and out of your system. Then some of you are taking the EstroSmart. So the EstroSmart is helping to bind to the chemical estrogen using products like DIM, indole-3-carbinol, all-sulforaphane, calcium D-glucarate, chasteberry, rosemary, those types of things to help to really support your system. And then for some of you, I have you on straight up broccoli sprout extract, which is the most potent source of sulforaphane, to really help to mitigate some of those issues. All of these things are also going to help with your insulin resistance as well too, right? So helping the body better uptake, blood sugar balance is so important for any of this stuff that we're talking about, for good quality of your skin and removing the toxins out of your body overall. If your blood sugar is out of whack and you are constantly being chased down by the cravings and never feeling satisfied, all of this is going to feel like it's for nothing, even though it's not. So those are some of those ones that I wanted to hit on there for that. And I think that's it. Should we use collagen in our smoothies as well as Genuine Health? Yeah, so your collagen, don't look at your collagen as your protein source. Some of you I have using collagen instead of the protein powder because your digestive system is just way too sensitive right now. And we are using collagen or bone broth powder as your protein source because you just can't handle anything else right now. But I don't look at collagen like, yes, it's a protein source, but I look at this as heal and repair for my skin and for my gut. So for me, it always goes into my elixirs. I do an elixir every single day because I'm also using the Dandy Blend or green tea as the base, or longevity tea. Or spearmint sometimes is that base to help my liver and to help to support my body on a daily basis. And then my protein powder would come in when I'm doing a shake later on as well too. Okay. Any other questions about anything before we hop off for the night? For the Dutch test, we need to stop the supplements before doing it. Depends how long you've been on the supplements for. So if you've just started the supplements during this protocol, and it's only been like a couple of weeks when you do your Dutch, then you'd be fine. If you've been on them for a couple of months or like an entire full menstrual cycle, then you could just pause as you're going in to take that test, do your test, and then you can get right back on them. You're welcome. Okay, all right, 8:35 on the dot. Okay, that was a really loaded one, so you definitely need to go back. Everything has built on top, right? So the kickoff one, kind of giving you the general overview, your digestion and inflammation, understanding how integral that is, your estrogen dominance discussion, which it really ties into this. And then I believe next week, we start to go into part 1 of 2 of your adrenal and thyroid health. Yeah, it's a lot to process in this one, but remember what I said, 17 years of being on this journey with removing things from my home, from my skin, from my body. And I have just found the slower I do things, the better it is. Because if I just do everything because someone's telling me to, but I don't actually understand why, or I've not taken the time to like, when I first started to shop after this, like I had to double the amount of time I was shopping because I wanted to read and I wanted to understand. And so, you know, low-hanging fruit. Like I said, shampoo and conditioner, you're going to have to replace that probably once a month or so. Your tampons and stuff, again, once a month. That's low-hanging fruit. It's like right there. You're already going to have to do it. Some of the bigger things, you know, just like take your time with it, but just every single one of you are doing in this program is you are raising your vibration and your level of consciousness. You're just simply becoming more aware. I don't have a timeline for any of you as to like, this has to happen right now. You take it in, you digest it as you can, and you bit by bit start to create that level of implementation, okay? All right, have an amazing rest of your night, everyone. Any additional questions you have about this, please post it in the comments in that Facebook group. Remember to utilize that group because the question you have, I guarantee somebody else has the same question, and so it just helps to feed that community vibe inside of our Facebook page. Have an awesome night, everyone. I will see you next week. You're welcome.